Rise and shine, Rwanda. It's Tuesday, the 6th of October. Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Fidelis Karangwa.
And over the course of the next hour, we'll bring you every little thing about entertainment, sports, business headlines. We got it all covered, right?
Yes,
we got everything covered.
You're the man with the TVET today, but I promise you tomorrow,
you're the woman
I am taking over TVET.
Oh, you'll be covering everything.
I promise.
All right, well, all that and more still to come, but first, Rise and Shine, story of the day. From 2010, the Common Belgian TVET Support Program, also called Programme d'appui à la formation professionnelle, has been working closely with its governmental partners, the Rwandan Workforce Development Authority and the Integrated Polytechnic Regional Center of the Southern Province to improve the quality of TVET, and in particular, to create opportunities for the rural population. As TVET sessions are taking place in Kigali right now, we find about what PFP has been doing in rural Rwanda. Take a look.
Nitwa Masengesho Kerere, abanariza amashuri abanza ku kigo cya primaire ya Mwendo n'icyiciro rusange nacyo nakizi Mwendo, nkomereza mu myuga ku kigo cyigisha imyuga cya Mpanda. Umwuga nize ni umwuga w'ubwubatsi, nawe uhisemo kubera ko nari nkukunze. Ngira ngo uzanteze imbere mu rwego rw'uko nabonaga hagomba no kujyamo uburinganire n'iterambere kandi nkomeje kubikunda cyane. Kubona akazi nagiye muri stage, nkoresha imbaraga zanjye uko zishoboka, maze kuzikoresha babonye ko bishoboka kandi mbishoboye bampa akazi nkabona gutyo. Ubu nkaba ndi gukorera ahantu nakoreye na stage. Chantier de formation ni uburyo bwo kwiga twubaka inyubako zihoraho, uzaba ureba zizakora ibikorwa n'abandi bazajya bareberaho yuko muri uwo mwaka hari ishuri ryo kubaka kandi rikaba ryarakoze aho hantu ku buryo ugiyeyo rwose nawe iyo nyubako wayibona.
Iyi approach yo kwigisha abana bakaza no kwiga kuri site, abanyeshuri ngabo ubona kuri site bari gukora biga mu ishuri. Nono iyo bamaze kwiga icyo twita theory mu ishuri, baza hano kuri site bagashira mu bikorwa noneho iyo theory bize mu ishuri kugira ngo babashe kubyumva neza.
Ikintu nakunzemo nuko nabashije kubona ibikoresho bihagije no kwigira ku nyubako itazasenywa. Iyo nyubako ikaba ari inyubako izagirira ikigo akamaro n'abanyeshuri bazaba bakigamo no kwitinyura hamwe n'abandi bari gukora ku ishantiye nkayitinyura. Ubwo buryo bwo kwigira kuri chantier de formation ni uburyo bwiza kubera yuko butuma ubasha kumenya byinshi ku bindi utaruzi, ukabasha kubona n'ibindi utabashije kubona mu ishuri muri teori ukabibonera muri pratique.
Iyi approach yo kwigisha abana bakaza no kwiga kuri site yatangiye muri 2013. Ibyo bize hano igihe bagiye hanze no mu murimo ntabwo bazaba bafite kuko bazaba bamaze kubyiga neza no kubimenyera hano kuri chantier. So icyo ngicyo ni cyiza cya mbere, ariko hari n'ikindi cyiza nuko aba bana nkuko babona amazu bari gukora n'amazu meza, kuko barakurikiranwa n'abarimu babo hano kuri site n'abandi bafundi babizobereyemo. Tumaze kubona abanyeshuri barenga 300 babaye trained
PAFP rero ibikoresho yarabiguze noneho abana bakora za pratique zishoboka. Hari workshop ya electricity hakaba n'iya masonry. Abanyeshuri bazamura inzu guhera muri fondation barazizamura bazigeza hejuru barazisakara. Bandi bo muri welding bakora inzugi bakora n'amadirishya. Aba electricien abiga electricité rero nabo ubu barimo gushyiramo amashanyarazi. Iyi ngiyi yo barayirangije bamaze gushyiramo amashanyarazi. Amashanyarazi arakora neza. Ubu barimo barakora iyi ngiyi y'amasomo.
Inzozi mfite mu minsi iri imbere n'izuko nzava ku bufundi nkagera ku bwenjenyeri, kuko uko iminsi izagenda iza tuzakomeza tuniga ayandi yisumbuye twongera level. Ibyo nizi ikintu bimaze kungezaho nuko mbashije kuba ntasabiriza, nkaba mbashije kubona icyo kurya, kwambara ntajya kwaka umwenda ngo ni mumpe umwenda uyu wacitse uyu ntawo uhari, nkabasha kwikura mu bukene mbasha no kwiyishyurira.
And joining me in studio now is Nicholas Swingadao from Programme d'appui à la formation professionnelle and Wilson Muyenzi from WDA. Welcome to the show, guys. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now, I would love to know, first of all, your experience. I mean, the program has been going on for 5 years now where, your program is collaborating with the Rwandan program and, helping them, especially rural Rwanda, understand empowerment and wanting to do better for themselves. But yourself, in the past 2 years since you've been here, what have you seen that has marked, especially from the get-go? I mean, what did you see when you got here, and how has the improvement been ever since?
Okay, so to be clear, we work at 3 different levels. So at the national level, we work with WDA, our main partner. At the regional level, we work with IPRC South, it's in the southern province, and then we work with 24 schools in the southern province. And when you go to the southern province, to the schools, you really see a big difference. You really see that things are changing, because what we have done is we supported the reform of the TVET quality in Rwanda.
Right.
And we went from the old system, which is pretty much sitting in class, getting theory, to a competency-based approach, which is focusing really on real skills, hands-on skills, which really can be used in a real environment, a real work environment. And you really see when you go to the schools, when you talk to the graduates, that they really have gained these skills, these competences, and that they are finding now jobs and using these skills and competence and feeling confident using them.
Now, Wilson, when we're talking about rural Rwanda and them finding what they're good at, number one, because he's talking about the fact that at first it was in class, you're just following what's happening, it's very theoretical, but now it's mostly practical. They're trying to teach them how to actually not only learn, but apply what they've learned to their everyday life. How early does this start? Does this start in school, early in school? Is it more about only adults? How does it work?
So we're actually beginning to sort of encourage competency-based training. As you may have learned from the Ministry of Education, we have competency-based curricula right from the beginning, from high school, early high school. But the focus now at the TVET level is after the 9-year basic education. So after 9-year basic education, we're trying to encourage as many Rwandans as possible to go the TVET track. The TVET track, because we're undergoing a paradigm shift, moving away from what my colleague just said, sitting in class, acquiring knowledge that you can't use to set up a company or to even get income. So we're moving away from that into competency-based training, where we're saying, okay, it's good to have knowledge, but you have to have knowledge, skills, and attitudes. And those 3 combined give you what you call a competency. That's when you acquire a competency, which has been proven to be very, very useful in Rwanda, even in rural Rwanda, where we see a lot of students starting their own businesses because of these skills that they acquire, these competencies that they acquire. And they're getting income for themselves, and we see these incomes at the district levels, the sector levels going up, and very much contributing to our vision, as you know, of becoming a middle-income economy by 2020.
Now, Nicholas, we're talking about a country here where we're doing everything we can to move from an agricultural-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. We're getting there. I mean, it's not, you know, you don't do it overnight. But now, what have you seen, the transformation of Rwanda? I mean, people hear about it, especially those who are not here. What have you seen that has actually, that has you feeling like you want to do more, you want to add to what you're already doing? What are you seeing that actually encourages you and makes you feel like Rwanda is moving on to great things?
It's actually amazing. When you arrive in Rwanda, you would not imagine what you see. Because in Europe, people have sometimes these stereotype images of Africa being very underdeveloped. But when you arrive here in Kigali, you really see a vivid city where things are happening and changing so fast. And I think that people really have the spirit and wants to change something, and that's why I wanted to come here, because I think Rwanda is doing so well, and I think TVET is one of the key actors or factors which can contribute to this economic development, because this graduates we educate, they will be hired by companies, and they will then support the development of the economy, which then can contribute to the goal of Rwanda to become a middle-income country.
Now, when you think about the fact that the symposium starts today, what are you hoping to get from that? I mean, with everybody gathering around talking about TVETs and the progress this country has made when it comes to TVETs, what are you hoping to get from the symposium?
Okay, that's a good question. So we've achieved a lot in our TVET journey, but we have a long way to go. We still have a long journey ahead of us. So we are having this symposium where we invited a lot of our African counterparts, but also even beyond. We have guests from beyond Africa to come and sit down with us and discuss what is working for us, what is not working, how can we change what is not working to make it work better, and share ideas, especially around the theme of innovation. So as you know, innovation is really very key in ensuring that productivity goes up, the economic output of a country goes up, and therefore takes you closer to our goal of becoming a middle-income economy by 2020. So in this symposium, we're really going to discuss a lot, strategize a lot, learn from other countries what is working, they learn from us what is working, but also what is not working, so we can avoid it or change it. And hopefully by the end of the symposium, we'll have some concrete strategies, concrete actions that we can then implement moving forward, so that we realize our TVET goals.
Now, Nicholas, as we just saw in the footage again, you know, Rwandans in rural Rwanda are learning, and they're learning fast. I mean, they want to move on to great things. They're learning to save money. They're learning to be part of cooperatives and things like that. What has been one example that you can share with us where you've seen an elderly man or a young lady go from, you know, not knowing anything to now being empowered and, you know, knowing they can do better for themselves?
Yeah, so like you've seen in the footage before, one of the approaches we use is training sites. And I think that's a very interesting approach we use. We as PFP, we provide materials, and then the students, graduates, they will build school infrastructure themselves. So they do everything themselves. They start from the foundation, build the walls, put in doors, windows, put in electricity. They do everything. And after this whole experience, they have all the skills which are required to work as a construction in the construction field, and they have the confidence. They know they can do it because they have done it before. So I think that's like a very good example of how people really get these hands-on skills, which really can be used in a real professional environment.
Right, Wilson. We're talking about the success of TVETs in themselves, the concept in itself, how it has worked in Rwanda. If there are to be any challenges that you can talk about that you're still facing on a daily basis and that you would like to see, you know, change or at least improve, what are those?
Good. Number one is the mindset. We still have a mindset, although it is improving, but it's still there. It's still a problem where many Rwandan youth still believe that TVET is a reserve for failures, those who have failed to go to university. And you see this both amongst the youth themselves, the students, but also the parents, where parents tend to think about TVET as a well, as a last choice, as the last.
It's basically you failed at everything else, so you
I
might as well
take it to
become,
take it.
you know,
Yes,
something
yes.
else,
So
right?
this mindset is very wrong, and this has become a challenge, although it is improving, I might say. But we still have a journey. We still have, we still have a lot of work to do in that regard. So this is a challenge, but we're working on it very seriously as the Ministry of Education and also as WDA. Number two is we have a lot of ideas. He mentioned how students acquire skills and they can do very, very good, very impressive things, Regis. If you go to the expo, you will see very, very, very impressive things. You find somebody using a mobile phone to light, to light the bulbs in his house, or to start a car using mobile phone.
It's a great thing that Fidelis Karangwa will be covering it tomorrow. She's one of our, my co-host here, and I think she'll do a great thing.
Yeah, so the other challenge is really commercializing all these very good ideas,
right?
Getting them into businesses that can make money, that can increase the incomes of as many Rwandans as possible. It's one thing to have a very good idea, but if you can't get dollars out of it, then it's just an idea. Mm-hmm. So this has been a challenge, commercializing these great ideas that students have in the schools into successful businesses. But this is something we're working on as the ministry and as government in general. Now,
Nicholas, in Belgium, I will assume, because what we hear is that if your dad was a carpenter, you're probably going to end up being a carpenter, and it's passed on from generation to generation. This is something fairly new to us here. Mm-hmm. Unlocking people's mindsets, changing the way they perceive their future. How hard has it been? And if not, what are you doing to change that here?
So like Wilson is already saying, it's important to work on these mindsets. And we're working on it. One of the things we have done is awareness raising. So we went to the schools and we organized awareness raising events where we invited the whole community around the school. And we did some plays, some theater, where students performed and did some testimonies where they told how TVET changed their life and how it really contributed them to be emancipated, to find a job, and to be empowered. So that's one of the things we have really worked on.
Well, Nicholas, Wilson, it's a pleasure having you guys here. We could have gone on forever, but this is great. And like I said, I can't wait for Fidelis to do the report actually today and bring it back for us tomorrow morning. And thank you for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, have a great symposium too.
Thank you very
much.
All right, well, you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your business news. Fidelis Karangwa has the detail.
Business stories making headlines today. 9,000 farmers stand to benefit from a new joint venture deal signed between the government of Rwanda and Africa Improved Foods on Tuesday to produce fortified food in the country. Officials say the initiative will help fight malnutrition by providing enhanced nutritional foods for vulnerable groups, including the rural population, and added that the joint venture demonstrates the increasing role of development partners in supporting initiatives that reduce unemployment besides fighting malnutrition. The project is also expected to create 230 jobs and offer stable and sustainable source of income to soya farmers, among others. Experts have advised that technical and vocational training should equip learners with the relevant skills to create jobs. Albert Sengiyumva, the Minister of State in charge of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, made the remarks on Saturday at the launch of the TVET Expo 2015 at Gikondo in Kigali, where he was impressed by innovations in irrigation, construction and energy, as these sectors are the most developed. The TVET Expo is scheduled to run from October 2nd to 8th and is part of the TVET Week activities and is the fourth TVET Expo to be organized by the Workforce Development Authority, with the emphasis on exhibition of innovative products. And Bank of Kigali credit's worthiness and stability has received a strong boost of approval from South African-based agency Global Credit Rating Company. The firm affirmed Rwanda's largest commercial bank with an AA- rating for long-term credit and A1+ for short-term credit lines, which means Bank of Kigali has a very high credit quality outlook and its protection measures are at a very strong position. The negative, however, means that the adverse changes in business, economic or financial conditions would increase the bank's investment risks, although not significantly. The stock market is expected to warm up to the developments with the busy BK counter on the browse, anticipated on account of eager investors interpreting the bank's positive rating as a vote of confidence in its operations. And joining us now in studio is Ituze Christian from Makila.net to share with us the headlines on what's trending on their website. Welcome, Christian, once again. How are you doing this week?
I'm good.
Are you looking forward to sitting on the couch and sharing your fabulous ideas with us once again?
Definitely.
For sure.
No, yeah.
Now, I understand you're the man with the jobs. That's our new name for you. And
Yeah.
of course, you're still hooking us up with the jobs, great jobs in especially NGOs this past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I understand you still have another job for us. What's going on today?
Well, okay, today we were discussing about getting a job at the UN.
Yes.
And last month has marked the 2015 UN Summit, and now we're more into the UN gigs. Yeah, I've brought you something really good today.
Hopefully something I can take on.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
You'll see if you got the requirements and prerequisites. And now we've got a job at the UNICEF.
Yes.
Yeah, UNICEF Rwanda is recruiting an emergency coordinator. So basically, the emergency. And before we continue, there is this good thing about this job. It's Rwandan nationals. It's just to Rwandans only.
Oh, nice.
So one of the biggest prerequisites.
So that removes a lot of competition from the rest of the region. So
So
that's a
people
good
don't
thing.
have to worry about the international.
Which people have been complaining about for a while. We've heard cases of people saying, people from East Africa coming and taking our jobs. Now you have no excuse for this job.
Sure.
What else?
Yeah. So basically, you'll be responsible for monitoring and evaluating the humanitarian response in the country. So, and you'll be. It requires regular field visits to emergency project areas and collaborating with other departments to prepare research reports and project proposals. However, to get this gig, you'll need a master's degree because it's a job at the UN.
Which most people have lately in Rwanda, so good thing.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So you need a master's degree and at least 5 years of work experience. Yeah, it's a job at the UN. Come on.
I think it's achievable. We
Yeah,
can
it's
do
achievable.
this. We can do this.
Yeah.
And I also on Aquila, you've been on a trend trying to recruit people to come and work with you, amazing people at Aquila. So what's still going on at Aquila.net?
Yes, we've been lately talking about it, and There've been a memo about it, but in case somebody missed it, we're still accepting the application to our community of Aquila Network. It's all about being professional. It's all about having the opportunity to know where there is a good job. It's all about being the first to know it and being informed, really a good information.
Yes.
So some people basically they just misunderstand it. Yeah, sometimes.
So you're going to make the facts clear for us today.
Yeah. People are like, okay, if I apply and if my application succeed, I'm like getting a job. Now, Arakira will not offer, this network is not offering jobs, but it's picking up the best candidates to be able to recommend them and to provide many advices to them to be able to get good jobs, you know.
So basically, you're like mentors for them. You help them to move on to better jobs.
But also we indicate to them, we inform them where there are good jobs all around East Africa. That's the good thing about Aquila.
Yes.
Yeah. So as long as you get on our website, you'll see a lot of stuff. There's how to prepare for everything. It's not really complicated. So whenever you get on our website, you see everything about it.
Perfect.
Definitely,
Perfect. Now, what's our upcoming story? The thing that people should look out for next week?
Yeah, next week when you go on our website, anakila.net, you'll find that there is, for those who've watched the Global Entrepreneurship Summit,
yes,
there was this woman, she was between Obama and Uhuru Kenyatta.
Oh, clearly a woman in power.
Yeah. So it's Judith Awiga. So she's the president and founder of Acura Chicks. It's not Akira.net. And she's really. We've talked about our writer has talked to her, and she's a strong woman, as you can see.
What did you say is so special about her? Why should people look out for this?
Article? Okay, this woman, she started 2 companies. There is Akira Chicks and Juakali.
Nice.
Yeah, so Juakali in Swahili is hot sun. It's hot sun in English. So she's talking about it's a company that's all about blue collar jobs, people working in blue collar jobs. A company that looks forward to raising them higher, and make sure those people gain their respect because they work hard, and make sure they are paid
enough,
a fair wage.
Yes.
Yeah. So these 2 companies, they are 2 big, strong companies, and this woman has achieved a lot of good things. So in this article, we're talking about how she made it, and she makes it clear that achieving something like this is not something easy, you know. Yeah, and she talks about it, and she gives a lot of advice and even some books. She recommended some books in it. So I think people should read this next week.
What I think I love the most about the articles that you have on Aquila is the fact that you always try to focus on people who've made it despite the challenges that they face. And you always show people how they overcome them. But why do you always choose to do this? Why do you always focus on this particular aspect?
Well, it's all about career guidance.
Yes.
So people mainly are discouraged because of some barriers or people need some inspiration. So whenever you get to Aquila, that's all you find. That's all that you can find. You can find people, skilled people, perhaps contacts too. So whenever you join the network, so it's a bigger platform. It's a big platform for people to meet. And what I encourage, what I like it mostly, it's because it's all around East Africa. So you don't get to limit yourself.
So basically, these are people who are experiencing the same challenges that the rest of us in East Africa are facing. So you get to have like the first-hand experience on how they overcame their challenges and how they made it here in East Africa. It's definitely a great thing, and we definitely look forward to having you on this show again next week.
I'll be
always
here.
Giving us the good stuff. As usual.
Working for the UN.
For sure. Well, the update today is business headlines. Coming up next in just a minute with Regis Ishesha.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sports news. I'm Regis Isheja. Starting with local volleyball, Institute of Agriculture, Technology and Education of Kibungo, INATEC, were crowned the National Volleyball League champions on the final day of the season this past weekend at Amahoro Stadium. The Ngoma-based team were too strong for their closest title challengers, Rayon Sport, who came into the final weekend leading the table. INATEC head coach Dominique Sesonga Naugundi praised his team's performance after having come from behind on points to win their first ever National League title against Rayon Sport, who lead the table from the opening weekend. Rayon Sport's coach Fidel Nyirimana, who won the league title with the National University of Rwanda in 2013 before joining the newly formed Rayon Sport, congratulated INATEC, saying they deserved to win because they were consistent throughout the season. Outgoing champions APR finished in third position with 41 points, while Kirehe finished in fourth with 28 points. On to the English Premier League. Arsenal stunned Manchester United with 3 goals in the opening 20 minutes as the Gunners moved up to second in the Premier League table. United had no answer to Arsenal's opening burst as Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil scored twice in 74 seconds. Sanchez added a third from 18 yards as the Gunners beat United for just the second time in 14 league meetings. United improved after the break, but Arsenal substitute Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain hit the crossbar late on. Defeat leaves Louis van Gaal's sides in third place behind Arsenal on goal difference. The Gunners are now just 2 points behind leaders Manchester City, going into a 2-week international break, which had the potential to be uncomfortable for their fans and for manager Arsene Wenger. In the Merseyside derby, Liverpool drew 1-1 at Everton, which left the Reds 10th in the Premier League and had manager Brendan Rodgers sacked after 3.5 years in charge, but the decision was made before the game. Jose Mourinho said he will not quit after Saturday's 3-1 defeat by Southampton at Stamford Bridge, which left Chelsea 16th in the table. The special one led Chelsea to the Premier League title in 2004-2005 and 2005 and 2006 in his first spell in charge, and again in last year in 2014-2015. Elsewhere in Europe, Real Madrid missed out a chance to go on top of La Liga as Atletico scored late to draw the Madrid derby, and in France, Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored twice from the spot to give Paris Saint-Germain a 2-1 lead over arch rivals Olympique de Marseille, and in the process became the club's all-time leading scorer on 110 goals. Karim Benzema scored an early header from Dani Carvajal's cross, and Real goalkeeper Keylor Navas saved Antoine Griezmann's penalty. Gareth Bale, returning after injury, came on a 66-minute substitute for Real before Luciano Vietto scored the first Atletico goal from close range. Real moved into second as Villarreal remained top despite losing to Levante. Atletico's draw extended their unbeaten run against Real in La Liga to 5 games. Cristiano Ronaldo failed to officially overtake Raúl's record of 323 Real Madrid goals, although the club have already honored the 30-year-old Portuguese forward. At Parc des Princes, Michy Batshuayi put Marseille in front on the half-hour mark before Zlatan Ibrahimovic equalized from the spot, drawing the Swedish talisman level with Pauletta on 109 Paris Saint-Germain goals. But Ibrahimovic wasn't done there, as he dispatched his second penalty of the night to stand alone as the Parisians' record goal getter. You're up to date with today's sports news. Stay tuned, news are up next.
Connect to Lusaka 3 times a week starting 27th March. Enjoy comfort and safety at affordable fares to 17 other destinations across Africa and the Middle East.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Let's take a look now at news-making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world.
The Ministry of Education has reaffirmed the government's commitment to improve the welfare of teachers. The State Minister for Primary and Secondary Education, the Honorable Olivier Rwamukwaya, in a message ahead of today's World Teachers' Day celebrations, said besides training, the government is mindful of teachers' other broader needs. Minister Rwamukwaya stressed the need for quality education as a cornerstone to sustainable development. He outlined several steps the government should take to continue empowering teachers. These include awarding outstanding teachers through a program Girinka Mwarimu, facilitating teachers to buy computers through teacher savings and credit cooperatives, and support to SACCOs to ease teachers' access to credit to attend to their broader needs such as housing, education, and investment in personal development projects, among others.
The Rwandan community in Kenya elected a new executive committee during their annual General Assembly at Hekima University in Nairobi this past weekend. Eric Ndiravika was elected as the new chairperson, replacing Leonie Avera. He previously served as a commissioner in charge of economy and investment. In his acceptance speech, Ndiravika thanked members of the community for trusting him with what he described as a heavy responsibility and promised to deliver to their expectations. The outgoing chairperson, Avera, urged the community members to remain united. Speaking at the event, Rwanda's High Commissioner to Kenya, Ambassador James Kimonyo, thanked the outgoing executive committee for the good work and promised the newly elected committee full support of the Commission. Ambassador Kimonyo noted that Rwanda has moved from being viewed in a post-conflict mirror to a country on the move in terms of economic progress. And in regional news, Congolese politician Jean-Pierre Bemba and his former lawyer and the three other allies go on trial at the International Criminal Court today, charged with corrupting witnesses and interfering with the administration of justice. Bemba, already on trial at the Court for Crimes Against Humanity and War Crimes, and his former trial lawyer, Emekilolo Musamba, are accused of crushing witnesses and paying them to testify in their favor between 2011 and 2013. Last year, prosecutors had to drop their case against Kenya President Uhuru Kenyatta, accused of fomenting pre-election violence because of what they said was large-scale intimidation and bribing of witnesses. Bemba and his four co-accused deny the charges and say any payments were intended to cover witnesses' expenses and not to influence their testimony. Bemba, a former Congo vice president, has been on trial in The Hague since 2008, accused of orchestrating atrocities against civilians during the 2002 interventions by his movement for the liberation of Congo militia in the neighboring Central African Republic. The five defendants could face sentences of up to 5 years in prison and an unlimited fine if convicted.
And in international news, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad says the success of a military campaign by Russia, Syria and its allies is vital to save the Middle East from destruction, a day after Moscow said it would step up airstrikes against Islamic State targets across Syria. President Assad said a year-long air campaign by Western and Arab air forces in Syria and Iraq had been counterproductive, helping terrorism spread and win new recruits, but a coalition of Syria, Russia, Iran, and Iraq could achieve real results. Assad was speaking days after Russian jets based in western Syria launched airstrikes against targets Moscow has identified as Islamic State bases, but which Assad's opponents say disproportionately hit rival foreign-backed insurgents. The United States, France, and Britain say the Russian airstrikes are aimed at propping up Assad after recent rebel advances. Russia says its planes flew 20 sorties in Syria and struck 10 Islamic State targets, including a training camp and a suicide belt factory.
Okay, lots more still to come. We take a look at what's hot right now in the Daily Debate section. Hot Topics will be right back.
Welcome back, and it's that hot topics time again. As always, the Rise and Shine Rwanda team have been out and about, gathering everything you need to know about what's happening here and abroad. From what's trending on Twitter to the debates in your local cafe, we've got it for you right here and right now. All right, Fifi. So,
what's hot?
What's hot is one of the greatest African musicians of all time. His name is Kofi Olomide.
A personal favorite for me.
Right. You know, I grew up in Congo. We call him Mopao Mokonzi.
I didn't grow up in Congo, but I know he's like
you know, he's a huge deal. He's a big deal. So basically, he's releasing his swan song, his last album on the 13th of this month, which will be next week. It's the 13th of October at 13:13. So that's at 1:13 p.m. So everything has to play with the word 13. And why? Because the album is called 13e Apôtre, the 13th apostle. And why is he calling it that? It's because he has explained in various interviews that he feels Jesus only had white apostles. That's how it's depicted, at least in holy scriptures and in the Bible and the likes. And he's saying it makes no sense because we're all God's children, and he feels like there should be black people represented, Arabs represented, and the likes. So he says he calls himself the 13th apostle as a representation of black people that are not represented in the Holy Scriptures. Now, as you saw on the cover that we just show and that we're maybe going to show again, you can see him with Jesus behind him, and at the table at the Last Supper, you've probably read that story. You have the 12 apostles with Jesus, and Kofi Olomide is among them. Right? So he's saying he hopes that changes mentalities, and he feels like every time he releases a song, it has to have a message. It shouldn't just be entertainment. What do you think about that?
Controversy sells.
It does, and especially when it's your last album, right?
Exactly. And this is exactly what he's trying to do. The fact that we're here talking about it, exactly the kind of marketing that he needs. So, do I love Kofi Olomide? Yes. Do I think the theory behind this album is a bit cuckoo? Yes. But hey, do what you gotta do. I mean, he's an artist. Artists are open-minded people. They normally like to reach in and deep into themselves to find these amazing ideas for music. Honestly, if I don't care about the whole idea behind the album, if it's a good album, hey,
the music will sell.
It will sell. It will sell. I'll buy it. I won't care about the whole 13th apostle story behind it. I'll just be like, this is good music. I'll buy it. So, is he marketing it before he drops it? Yes, he is, and it's definitely working.
It's his last album.
He's a smart guy.
He's very smart. He's an astute businessman. Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
I just can't wait for the last album. I mean, it's his last one. It's his 20th album, believe it or not. First album released in 1983. So, he's put in a lot of work. So I think he deserves some, we can give him that. It's fine.
And maybe I literally used to have an outfit that I used to wear just so I can dance to his music. Literally. I'm not even joking about this. And I was this little, and I was so dedicated. In my head, I knew I was going to be one of his dancers one day.
Oh.
This dream might
still happen. There's still time.
This other album.
And he said he's retired from releasing solo albums, but it won't prevent him from contributing on other people's albums.
So you're saying I should get my training on,
Listen,
my moves together.
You're already doing okay with the diet, but you should maybe start
get my moves together.
Make sure your moves are okay. Yes, absolutely.
For sure, I'll do that.
All right, now another hot story at the moment. It was actually published in the New Times yesterday. Is the fact that officials just realized that certain bottles of Black Label and Red Label, we're talking about Johnny Walker Scotch whiskey, are counterfeits, and that they're poisonous, and that they could be really dangerous to the point where they can lead you to being blind, or could cause you, really bad damage when it comes to your stomach and the likes. So they've been doing. They're going around checking bottles, making sure bottles are okay. Some of the people who are actually selling it are saying, well, the bottle is a counterfeit, but the what's contained inside the whiskey in itself is fine. I don't know how to take it. Now, what do you think about it, and how bad could it affect not only the economy, but the consumers in itself?
I'm a lover of cheap and best. It's like a theory for me.
Right.
But the only place where this does not apply is when it comes to food and the drinks that I take, because this is your life that you're putting at risk.
You cannot endanger it.
Exactly, exactly. And people just need to remember that if you want to, hey, by the time you're ordering for a black label anyway, you should be ready to pay for the real deal. You know what I mean? So why it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Is it going to hurt the economy? Yes, but for a good cause. For a good cause, because it's not, no economy is worth maintaining if we're losing people to it. You know what I mean? So I say it's a good thing that, you know, the police has caught this maybe in time. Maybe no one has been hurt yet. People should be very careful. But I'm telling you, just it's not worth it.
I agree,
It really
especially
is not worth
counterfeit. At some point, with counterfeit, you can sit with it a
like
little
if
bit.
it's clothes, if it's shoes, I mean, those are, you know,
Poisonous. I have a problem
food
with.
and drinks. Just don't do it. Buy the real deal or let it go. Wait for it. Save up for it until you can afford it. It's not worth it.
I agree.
Your life is a lot more important than that.
Right. Yeah. Well, don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and the reports we do daily. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We'd love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website. That's www.riseandshinerwanda.rw. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We'd love to hear your feedback, so do let us know if you have an idea for the program. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Fidel Skarn. We'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow, so do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine Rwanda team, have a very good day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.